Hi, and welcome to our next episode on M&A Ambassadors, the USP, becoming the ultimate sales professional. Now, last week we had started on some techniques to use so that you can have an effective call approach. And we looked at a control technique that will give you unconscious influence. And it was about using the name of the buyer or the seller that you're speaking to. And we looked at 8 different places in the call where you can use the name. So today I want to share with you a couple more techniques, and over the following episodes we'll give you a lot more so that you remain in control, have unconscious influence, and have a higher conversion rate into meetings from your calls. So let me ask you this question. How do you actually take control in the call? There's 2 ways to do this actually. The first is that you start by asking questions and not by speaking and presenting. Remember, the trust is at a very low level now. This is your first engagement on the call. People are curious, but they still don't know who you are, or they don't trust you enough to want to listen to you. So when you speak to people on the phone and you are presenting and talking a lot, there are very high chances for them to actually get distracted with whatever's happening in their world on the other side of the call. So the way to engage and hold their attention is by asking questions. But the questions need to be relevant for the prospect or the seller that you're talking to. That engages them, gets their attention, keeps you in control, and also helps you to uncover information. So here's the secret to staying in control and developing the unconscious influence on a call. It's by asking questions. So let's take an example of a few questions that you could ask. Now, when you are qualifying the client, for example, there is a structure that you need to be following. Now, it's called the linking structure, where your questions do not appear random, but they are linked logically one to the other. Now, on the phone, you need to be aware that you cannot be asking too many questions. It can get very interrogative. It's different from a face-to-face meeting. Plus, don't forget, the trust levels haven't yet been established. So let me show you a linking pattern that you can use in qualifying that will actually help you to get better answers from the client. Now, the structure that you will need to follow on the call is you'll have to uncover the need, or at least why they are considering at this point of time, why they have sent in an inquiry. They're curious, but what's the real reason they're looking now? Once you have understood the need, you will then have to identify the amount that they are looking at investing to buy that home or to get into this investment. Again, you just need to have a broad understanding of the amount. You don't want to have too many questions. Because if you don't have that number, how would you even approach offering them a meeting? Which kind of community would you want to suggest to them? Which type of developer would you want to engage with on behalf of this particular buyer? So you need to have some ballpark figure in your mind. And equally important, if we could find that for them, how soon would they be considering making the buying decision? So at least these 3 things you need to find out on the call: the need, the amount, as well as the decision time frame. But use the linking pattern when you do this. So let me give you an example. So my qualifying question could be, I use the name of the client. Remember the 8 places that we can use the name, one of them was qualifying. So Ahmed, if you were to consider an opportunity in Dubai, what exactly would you be looking for? So that's the need question. You will have 2-3 associated questions to that. Are you looking for an independent villa or is it a townhouse? How many bedrooms are we talking about? Ahmed, what else is important in the community before you make your decision? So you will have a few questions just to understand what this client is looking for. Now, all these questions are about the client, it's not about you. So when he's answering these questions, in his mind, he's starting to connect with the possibility of owning that type of home, the one that he's talking about. So once I have uncovered this, so let's just take an example. Let's say it's a 4-bedroom independent villa. It could be in Dubai Hills estate, and he wants something that might be close to the mall area. Just an example I'm giving you. Now, I need to ask the money question, which is the next. This is where the linking starts. So the way I would link it is, I'd say, Ahmed, so for that kind of a home, 4-bedroom independent villa at Dubai Hills estate, close to the mall, how much are you looking at investing? You see, I can ask, how much are you looking at investing? But that's an independent question, not connected with the need. So I might not get a very open answer. So simply link it. Now, once they have given you the amount, I can use a link to find out the decision-making time frame. So Ahmed, let's say I could find you that 4-bedroom villa, independent, at Dubai Hills, close to the mall, and I could find it for you within that 10 million dirhams. How soon would you be looking at buying? This is the linking pattern. When you link the previous answers to the next question, you will have a client more open to answering your questions. It also keeps you in control because they can see the questions are logically sequenced and they don't need to interrupt. Now, it's very important once you have completed your qualifying on the phone, whatever questions you felt you needed to ask, you must summarize. This is the key to approaching offering a meeting on the call. You never offer a meeting unless you've got a clear, resounding yes to the summary. So here's an example. So Ahmed, from what you told me, you're interested in a 4-bedroom villa at Dubai Hills Estate and you prefer it close to the mall. And for that kind of a villa, you're willing to invest up to 10 million dirhams and you could make a decision in the next 2 weeks. Is that correct? You must end it with a question so that you stay in control. Is that correct? That's a positive leading question. Now, there's only 2 responses you could ever get to this. It could be, well, yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Use a power word. Excellent. It just brings a positive surge into the call. In case the client says, well, yeah, I guess so, I'm not yet sure, you simply need to ask him, Ahmed, what else do we need to take care of before you can own the villa? Don't ask negative questions like, what's missing? What have I left out? Is there something wrong? We don't want negative questions because then they will focus on what's missing and you don't want that to enter the conversation. Remember, it's on the phone. You still don't have good trust built. It's very easy for them to disconnect on you. So keep your questions always solution-oriented, positive and open, keeping the client's interest in mind. So you summarize and end by asking, is that correct? And if they say yes, it's a power word. Excellent. Now let me talk a little bit about power words, and for this episode, this is where we will leave it. Power words have been proven through multiple studies to create a positive energy surge in the receiver. That is the person you're talking to. It brings high energy and positive tension into the phone call, and you need this because the client hasn't met you yet. So power words are used as confirmations to what a client has said. So words like excellent, fantastic, great, these are words you would use. So for example, okay, so if I could find you this kind of an opportunity and I could get it for you within that 2 million, would you consider the opportunity? Say, well, yeah, if you could find it for me in 2 million, I would. I'd say excellent, perfect, great. That's the power of using a power word. Okay, so to summarize what we have discussed today, it is about creating unconscious influence and taking control. And the best way to do that is by asking questions and not by speaking. But the questions must be relevant to the client. So the questions have to follow a particular sequence. And there's 3 key things you need to find out on every call, even when the client has actually contacted you. It's the actual need, where you expand a little bit more by asking secondary questions. Then you link those questions. You use the linking technique and you link the need to the money question, to the investment question. And don't say words like, what's your budget? Simply say, how much are you looking at investing? Even if it's a homeowner, they would like their home to appreciate in value. And then you must find out the decision-making time frame, which is again like a double link. You link the need to the money. Let's say I could find you and I could do it within this much. How soon are you looking at buying? So once you have got all your questions, you simply summarize. You must summarize and get the yes before you will ask for the meeting. So if they're saying a clear, resounding yes, use a power word, excellent. Otherwise, if there's a bit of a doubt, simply say, Ahmed, what else do we need to take care of so you could own this villa? I want to wish you the best. Try these techniques in some of your calls. See how clients respond to it. practice it and make it part of your permanent call structure, and you're going to get much higher conversions into meetings. I want to wish you the best, and we will see you in the next episode of M&A Ambassadors USP, Becoming the Ultimate Sales Professional.